Allegations of foreigners being bussed into Ghana to register in the ongoing voter registration exercise is generating tension.
They are sending them here to come and register here, have their voters ID card, so that when it comes to the real point, they come and vote here. And if you give them chance to register and they have their voters ID card, you can't stop them when they are coming to vote.
Today, some youth in Western Region town of Jomoro marched to the palace of the chief there to protest the busing of several Ivorians into the country to register. So why on earth will anybody want to bring in foreigners to register in a Ghanaian voters exercise? If it is true, who is behind this and what does he or she seek to gain? We'll be speaking with some youth from Jomoro and also gauge the mood of some political parties, plus the CPP parliamentary candidate of that area and some election observers. This is today's big story. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Now, the limited voter registration is continuing, and even though the numerous problems that bedeviled it on the first few days have been successfully resolved, now allegations that foreigners are being bussed into the country to register is refusing to go away. Let's do some analysis now. On the phone now is Evans Ebia. He is the leader of the youth who marched to the palace to protest. He joins us on the line. Good evening to you, Evans.
Madam.
Hello, Evans. You're on today's
Hello.
big story.
Very well. Good evening, madam.
Evans, so what exactly are your issues? Why are you making this allegation?
Madam, it's so appalling. It's so appalling. We are all in Jomoro. We know ourselves. In the various communities, we know ourselves. You are Ghana. We know who is the Ghanaian, who isn't the Ghanaian. Not either by what the language the person speaks. But then when you come to Jomoro now, you have typical Ivorians trooping in to register. And we are surprised. We are surprised. And we don't know why this is happening. Because we in Jomoro are suffering. We know what's happening to us now. So why should I bring the limited registration? Political parties want to pass or are really passing foreigners to come onto our register. And it gets a long way to bloat the register. Foreigners everywhere in Jomoro. You go to Tekinta, there are foreigners. You go to Tikobo number 1, there are foreigners. You go everywhere, there are foreigners all over. Madam, it's so appalling. It's so appalling. And
do you have evidence? Do you have evidence to the background of these people that are probably, you may see them as Ivorians, but they have a parent who is Ghanaian or probably married to a Ghanaian man or woman or something? You have evidence?
Madam, we are all here, and then we have some of our relatives just nearby. That's Ivory Coast. So we're not preventing non-Ghanaians. We are preventing non-Ghanaians, not Ghanaians from registering. The thing is that they are not Ghanaians, and we know. You ask them, where do you come from? And they tell you, I'm from Cote d'Ivoire. You ask them, so why are you registering in Ghana? And say, this is the number I was given to register. He told me to say, I'm from this house, from this house. So, madam, it's so clear. Everybody knows that there are foreigners on the Jomoro register. Everybody knows. So this morning, let's go and protest to our Awulai Amerji. Come and stop, if it's possible, to stop or prevent all political parties from other activities in Jomoro. Because we can't wait for political parties to distract the peace we have in Jomoro.
But why the palace? Have you reported to the police?
The police are there. They are there at the police station. They know what's going on. Everybody is aware of what's going on. You protest, they tend to calm you down. What is this? Why? They know that those there are not Ghanaians. And the people there also want to prevent them from registering. And they tend to, protect the foreigners. I don't know what's happening in Jomoro. I personally don't know what's happening. And the institution as police, who should have, protected the Ghanaians, are now protecting the Ivorians when the people are protesting against. Madam, we will never understand this. We will never on earth understand this. So it's now a cheap way to win election. You don't do anything, and then the next round you go bring Ivorians. You think you can't win here, you also go bring Ivorians. Madam, what is this? This few days ago, one parliamentary candidate brought in tax to prevent the others from, registering. What is this? Should you wait to see war before we
So what was the outcome? What was the outcome of your meeting with your chief?
Yes, the chief, we couldn't meet the chief. We met one of the trustees, but instead he can't, take steps unless you wait for the main chief, that's the Ewulai. So we'll be trooping there tomorrow morning on the issue.
Evans, thank you very much, but I would advise that you report to the police, because this is a typical criminal issue that the police must deal with. So and as part of your protest, you should also report to the police to take over, because your chief cannot handle a criminal matter. It is the police that should do so. Many thanks to you, Evans. Well, the CPP's candidate in the area, Samia Nkrumah, also has concerns about some individuals suspected to be Ivorians partaking in the registration. Ernest Oyeboah speaks for her. Good evening to you, Ernest.
Well, thank you very much, Aisha, and good evening to your wonderful listeners.
Ernest, on what basis are you supporting this allegation?
Well, let me correct an impression. I am here as the Commander-in-Chief of the Youth Wing of the Convention People's Party. Okay. So that's, the capacity on which I want
speaking.
to proceed with this.
But has the Jomoro parliamentary candidate ever expressed any concern over this issue?
Well, certainly, and she doesn't even have to, because all of us are witnesses to what is happening here in Jomoro. It's a total mockery of our democracy. In fact, it would appear that there are no laws here in Jomoro, and almost, all the state institutions that are supposed to be governing and protecting the sanctity of our voters' register, most, at polling stations are either indolent, incompetent, or complicit in this matter of registering Ivorians. Eyewitness account confirms that at various polling stations or registration centers, dozens and dozens of Ivorians. Right now, in fact, I expect that reputable media organizations like yours come here to Jomoro, because my account would be taken as one coming from a politician, and therefore not necessarily the truth. But if you are here on your own, I'm sure you'd be able to ascertain things for yourself. You have so many of them. You meet them, where do you come from? They tell you, some who are honest enough tell you that, they are Ivorians. Some will tell you that, they come from Jomoro. And when you ask them, what is your residential, address, they can't tell you exactly what it is. And electoral officers are not asking these pertinent questions. Now, one would have thought that they would have clustered the various border points like Lubo, Jewiwaf, and Newtown, as they did in year 2012. But this time around, it would appear that their strategy is to penetrate and do the operation within, in the middle belt. So from Bonire, Tekinta, Tikobo number 1, Benin, those are the places that these malicious acts of sabotage against the state is going on.
So what have you done as a political party? Have you reported to the police?
Well, what is happening here is totally appalling. And like I have said, it would appear that the state institutions that are supposed to protect, at every polling station you have a police officer there. And they see these Ivorians, registering, and they do nothing about it in the face of protest. So what else are we supposed to do? Except, it is exposed to a third party, through, reputable organizations, media organizations like yours. What we are saying would only be taken as chaff and thrown under the bed. As we speak, it is suspected that we have close to 11,000 Ivorians already on the voters' register. You have about 15 to 20,000 Ivorians about to register here in Jomoro. And, in a few years' time, Ivorians would be more. They would be more on the voters' register of Jomoro than the people themselves. What then is democracy if the voice of the people doesn't matter anymore?
Do you
What then is
think
democracy if people have to suffer for 4 solid years? And then on the 4th year, they bring in Ivorians to come and decide whether the people should suffer more.
Now, the youth in Jomoro are alleging that the NDC is behind this situation. Have you also observed same?
Well, I will tell you that it is not only the NDC. In fact, the MPP, in fact, there's a collaboration between the NDC and the MPP. And I'll give you one typical example. Yesterday at Tikobo number 1, for instance, the MPP withdrew all their, challenge or protest against some specific Ivorians. And it happened elsewhere too at Tekinta. So there is collaboration between the MPP and the NDC on this one, and it's a very healthy collaboration. It's very sad this thing is happening here, and it's all because media organizations like yours aren't here to report it live.
Very interesting, Ernesto. I'll have you hold because I have Famous on the line, who is Communication Officer of the Western Region NDC office. Good evening to you, Famous. Thanks for your time.
Good evening.
How do you respond to allegations that the NDC is collaborating with the MPP to bring in Ivorians to register on a Ghanaian voters register exercise?
Thank you very much. I'm surprised you're saying NDC is collaborating with MPP to bring people from Ivory Coast to come and register. It's a surprise, and I'm sure whoever is listening to Joy will be surprised at this news. We, NDC, are making sure that our people in the constituency who are 18 years and also those who didn't get the opportunity to register in 2012 go to the registration centers to register. We are not busing anybody from La Côte d'Ivoire to come and register.
So how do you intend to redeem your image? Because certainly this is not good for the party.
Yes, it's not good for the party, but the image of the party in Jomoro is intact. It's the people of Jomoro that are going to vote. Therefore, we believe that the people of Jomoro knows very well that NDC is not busing anybody from Abidjan.
Couldn't it be that some people are doing this just to put your name in the mud? What would you do to prevent that?
You asked a simple question that what has he done? Has he gone to the security services? He says no, it's a collaboration between MPP and NDC. And I'm not sure this registration exercise, NDC will go into any collaboration with MPP.
Well, I'll have you hold on the other line and speak with Ernesto. Ernesto, he's saying that nothing of that sort. The NDC has not collaborated. So what would you do next? I believe you may have to go to the police to report this.
Well, that's the ideal situation. But in a situation where the state agencies that are supposed to be protecting you and I are rather defending and protecting Ivorians, what do you do? I mean, in that instance, which is why we are calling for neutral arbiters, neutral watchers like yourself to be here in Jomoro to see things for yourself. It's unfortunate that today our education has only taught us not to help our country. It has only taught us to be corrupt. It has only taught us to lie about the very things that would affect us. This has very serious implications. A situation where Ivorians dominate a particular, geographic space of your country, where almost all the resources are coming from, the gold, the bauxite, the diamond, the oil, and all of that. It has very serious implications. But simply because of partisan politics, we have a situation where people have to lie about these very things that have serious implications for our livelihood.
So would you cross your fingers and watch as it goes on?
Well, we would continue to expose it. We would continue to speak the truth. We would continue to stand up against all these forces that have, converged in order to sabotage the progress of the people and keep them poor. Come to Jomoro. The people of Jomoro are poor. They brought in somebody 4 years ago, in 2012, and nothing happened. And this time they are bringing nobody. All because the people of Jomoro were taken for granted. It is Ivorians, people from Ivory Coast, people with no stake in the constituency, no stake in the constituency who came here to vote for, the leadership of the constituency. And that's exactly what is playing out this. And this time around, they've been emboldened to go out with this fraudulent act. Some are even suggesting that, look, in the name of fairness, if the election here in Jomoro alone and other border constituencies could be suspended so we can have a clean and credible voters register, maybe that would be the way. But it's for all of us to decide.
Well, wish you all the best in your cause. Many thanks to Ernesto Yeboah. Now, Famous, you've heard Ernesto Yeboah. He still insists there is something going on. You may want to try to go and have a look of things for yourself and maybe try to prevent, because there could be somebody putting your name, just wanting to destroy the NDC.
Yes, on the day of the beginning of the registration, he gave the same allegation that we are busing 20,000 people from La Côte d'Ivoire to come and register. Today, he says about 20,000 are about to register. He doesn't even know what he's talking of. It's just an allegation that he's putting out there, to the sense of saying that NDC, MPP coming together to collaborate against the CPP. I'm surprised.
He didn't say they are collaborating against the CPP, but he's saying that you are in this together.
Why is he raising the red flag? In Jomoro constituency, the party is between NDC and MPP. So why is he raising the red flag? He's raising the red flag because he thinks these two political parties are bringing in people and they are together. They will take the same bus to the police station, register and go back. No, you can't do that. We shouldn't lie because of politics. We should think about Ghana. You see, their candidate was in Côte d'Ivoire on the 26th and the 27th of April, speaking on radio, telling Ghanaians in Abidjan that they should come back home and come and register. Nobody is complaining about that because that is legitimate. If a Ghanaian is outside the country and you go there as Samia Yaba and Nkoma to tell them that it's time for registration, it's going to begin on the 28th of April and end on the 8th of May. Come back home if you know you have not registered. Come back home if you know you are 18 years. There is nothing wrong with that because you are a Ghanaian, just that you went outside the borders of the country to go and look for something outside.
Well, many thanks to you, Famous, for your time on today's big story. So the conversation has now shifted from the NDC to the NPP, that the two parties, main political parties, are in this business together. I must say we're still trying to get the NPP to get their side of the story and also get a political analyst and Codeo to tell us what they have observed on the ground. This is today's big story, but let's listen to one of the youth in Jomoro about what they're alleging about. They're really desperate about the situation.
I want pressmen. Yeah. I'm listening. You say?
What is happening? Tell us.
I let you ask me my name. My name is John Nekwesi. I'm from Benin, one of the unit committee members here. What you have recognized over here is that people are from the Lagoon side, different places. They are sending them here to come and register here, have their voters ID card, so that when it comes to the real point, they'll come and vote here. And if you give them chance to register and they have their voters ID card, you can't stop them when they are coming to vote. So this is the time that you have to do. You have nowhere to go and report. So as far as you are here, being a press man, we are reporting to you so that you send a message. If Jomoro itself, when it comes to the voting time, they can postpone Jomoro voting time to any time at all. You will like it because you know the number of people in Jomoro, and you are coming. People are coming. They are floating in. What they did to Samia Yaba is happening again.
But do you know the people who are coming in? Or
I've even talked to some of them. They can't even express themselves speaking our language in Zema. But for language, it's not a problem. Listen, language is not a problem. Anybody can learn any language. Language is not a problem because I can learn and then speak. But still yet, if you ask the person, hey, the person come from, he will tell you I'm from Benin. Just show me where you come from, your home, where you live. They can't even identify the place. So about 20 people are pointing out, I'm from this person's house. How can these people be in your house? No, it's not possible. And you don't know them. You don't know their relatives in this town.
The EC officials, what are they doing about this?
Well, you have reported to them. They are under law. You know, whatever you tell them, there's a forms that you have to fill. Yes, of course, you can fill the forms, you do everything. But you don't know what will happen in future. I'm saying this because assuming there is a police barrier here, and there is a police over at Tikobo, and there's a smuggler coming from Tikobo number 1. A policeman can call Benin police that there is a smuggler coming, car number so and so is coming. The policeman can stop the car. If he couldn't find anything, he can still wait until the other police come and then do the investigation. So we are doing this for the pressmen to come in to interview people. You can go around and call out those who are lined up to come and do that and ask them whether they are from here. You know yourself.
Thank you very much.
This has never happened before, but you knew this happened Sami Aba time. That's what they did to overthrow Sami Aba. And they still want to do it. Master, if you are doing something good, continue doing it, and the people will see it and then help you be on the seat. Because you are not doing good things, that is why you are doing that. It's not fair.
Thank you.
They don't need Sami Aba in the constituency. They don't need the MPP man.
So you had a youth from Jomoro constituency. Let's speak with the governance expert, David Agbe, who's on the line now. Good evening to you, David.
Yes, good evening, Aisha.
Mr. Agbe, the very reason, or one of the reasons for this exercise is to clean the existing register. And so are you worried about issues of this nature coming up?
Aisha, I think that at this moment, I am not worried because the fact is that people have an interest. As much as it is politics, people have an interest in it. And so the various stakeholders are keen in terms of monitoring what is actually happening. But the fact is that as we speak now, it is difficult to identify who is a Ghanaian because of the fact that we do not have any national identification card. And more to the point, we do not have these birth certificates to show that this person actually comes from Jomoro constituency. And the place, if you know Jomoro constituency, they are very close to Côte d'Ivoire border. And so a lot of Ghanaians are also staying in Côte d'Ivoire as we speak. And so once they've heard these announcements that those who do not have an ID card, they have to come and look for one, I think that people, one way or the other, will be trooping from Côte d'Ivoire and other neighboring communities to come and register. So at this point in time, what the political parties need to be doing is to be more vigilant. I heard one person speaking on behalf of Samia Nkrumah and co. I mean, it is one of the allegations that was leveled against Honorable Francis Anaman, wing commander. And so at that time, he won almost about 11,000. And so at this point in time, I've also heard Samia Nkrumah alleging that almost about 10,000 people are coming from neighboring countries, especially Côte d'Ivoire, to come and register. So this point in time,
the political parties have to be more vigilant.
They need to be more vigilant.
Because whether they like it or not, there is no identification card, so some of these issues will come up. So they have to be vigilant. Well, many thanks to David Agbe. I think we lost him on the phone. But we've also been trying to get to speak with the police to respond to allegations that they are watching, looking on, and doing nothing about the situation. But our phones failed us. We've been calling the regional commander, actually. He's not been picking his call. This is today's big story. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Good evening.